Macmillan Audio presents A Little Less Broken. How an autism diagnosis finally made me whole. Written and read for you by Marian Schembari. For Elliot, who sees me as I am, and June, who's perfect as she is. Prologue. I was diagnosed on a Friday. The hushed hymn of the sea called just outside the window of our vacation rental. On the windy beach below, my husband and daughter chased each other up and down the sand without me. But I'd been waiting months for this appointment, and I couldn't wait a second longer. I needed to know. With my laptop balanced on the nubby duvet, I settled onto the thin mattress. My teeth chattered, not from the cold of the blustery Oregon coast, but from nerves. While I knew it was coming, I also knew the moment Dr. Marsh said the word autism, everything would change. The puzzle pieces of my life rearranging themselves into a picture entirely different from the one promised on the box. There, she'd say. There you are. Why do we so desperately want to label ourselves? All those quirks and habits and idiosyncrasies wrapped in a neat little bow. To be human is so complex. How could we hope to capture it all in a single word? And yet millions of personality tests float around the internet, promising to define us in a dog breed, a Beatles song, or a Disney character reimagined as a piece of cheese. We take them over and over, desperate to see ourselves reflected somewhere other than the isolation of our minds. I'm a Shiba Inu, Penny Lane, a triple cream brie Ariel. I've been 1,000 people, an adventurous world traveler, an ambitious tech employee, a gregarious roommate. None of them were really me. Underneath the masks lived an overwhelmed, twitchy little girl who, from her very first memory, was told the way she showed up in the world was wrong. And so she hid. Once, in middle school, Dad caught me in a lie. I'd probably stolen a 20 from his wallet or gone to a boy's house without a chaperone. He called me into the living room. "We need to have a chat," he said, patting the couch seat next to him. I sat in the plush red armchair across from him instead. The room was crammed floor to ceiling with the kind of art you'd buy at a touristy gallery, from a woman with a gray braid wearing quilted overalls. My favorite piece was a 3-foot red beaded lizard on the wall next to the fireplace, and I stared at this, unblinking, while Dad interrogated me. "I can always tell when you're lying," he said, exasperated, when I refused to confess. "You can? You never look me in the eye." His eyes surveyed me, waiting. Despite the nausea moving through me, my eyes darted away from the lizard and flicked to his. Making eye contact has always felt like dragging a knife across a dry plate. I shuddered and my skin tensed, as if it had become too tight for my body. I don't remember if he ended up believing me, but from then on, whenever I said anything to Dad, I would think, "Look him in the eye, look him in the eye," as if nothing I said would be believable unless our eyes met. How ironic that the real lie was the eye contact itself, a habit I trained myself into adopting so I'd appear confident and trustworthy. And how wonderful it is now, 24 years later, in this tiny room next to the beach, to talk to Dr. Marsh after peeling away the layers of myself like old paint. The most liberating thing about asking a doctor whether you're autistic is you don't have to pretend anymore. After months of research, I could surrender to the urges that had been building within me since I was a girl. In most conversations, I miss 75% of what the other person is saying because I'm so obsessed with whether I'm making the appropriate amount of eye contact. Not this time. I stared away from Dr. Marsh and toward the closet across from me. The sliding door was open a crack, and I itched to close it. As she talked, I played with the string on my hoodie. It felt almost vulgar.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?